Today on the channel, it's best of time. We're halfway through 2025, and in today's video, I'm counting down my top 5 WWE Mattel Ultimates so far.
And the spirit of Ultimate Warrior will run forever!
Welcome everyone, Kyle here, and welcome back to the channel for another Kyle Peterson Top 5, a Thursday tradition here on the channel where every single Thursday we're counting down my top 5 and occasionally top 10 favorites of something, and today we're about halfway through 2025, so it's time to look back at the first half of the year, this time with the WWE Ultimates line, of course, from Mattel, and in this video we're going to count down my top 5 favorite Mattel Ultimates of 2025 so far. Of course, this is my list. Put your list in the comments down below. We're going to start at number 5. We're going to work our way to number 1. Number 1 being my absolute favorite Ultimate so far in 2025. But put a little asterisk in this one. I've got one where I'm going to say he just missed the mark. I guess we'll call it number 6 as of right now. And I'm going to show that real quick. Now, not a perfect figure. Definitely missing a few things, but a figure I really do like. It is the Rock Ultimate Edition here, I guess technically at number 6. Would have loved if we would have had some glasses with this. That was a huge miss. Needed glasses with the final boss Rock, but I love the new championship title belt for the first time. Very cool. And then you got Rock's tracksuit, vest and suit, whatever you want to call it. I really like this look. I really like the final boss Rock. I've said it before on the channel. That's my favorite version of the Rock ever, is the final boss Rock. So I really enjoy this figure. I was really excited for this one to come out. Well, it's not perfect. That's why I didn't make the top 5. It's missing the glasses. And I know some people had some issues with the writing on the back of the vest. But man, for me, I really do like this Rock. So much, in fact, I may buy, waiting for a deal, of course, that Elite Rock. Grab the glasses from that, put on here to make this a perfect final boss Rock. But I wanted to put him in at number 6. A little asterisk there to this list. But of course, it's top 5 list, and we're going to kick it off, of course, at number 5. All right, we begin the countdown at, of course, number 5. And number 5 comes to us from the Coliseum collection, comes to us with one of the absolute greatest big men ever in professional wrestling history. Who are we talking about at number 5? Well, we're going to one Bam Bam Bigelow. Now, maybe it would have been higher if we hadn't had so many Bam Bam Elites in the past. This one, of course, this outfit we've had in the past in the Elite line. But this is a very iconic one and fits with the Coliseum collection, of course. Would not be opposed, of course, for another Ultimate Edition in the future of Bam Bam Bigelow. Can we get the one where he faced off against Lawrence Taylor? That would be perfect for the Ultimate Edition line in the future. Maybe a Legends Target exclusive. Maybe. We'll see what happens. But this one came with all the extra bells and whistles, all the extra hands, extra heads, and a soft goods shirt for a little extra pizzazz. I'm a big Bam Bam Bigelow fan, so I had a feeling he would be on the list here. Like I said, I think maybe a little bit higher he would have been if we hadn't had so many Bam Bams in the past. But that being said, still an absolute fantastic figure. One of the best feeling figures. You always get a figure in your hand, sometimes it just feels amazing. That's what that Bam Bam does for me. So Bam Bam Bigelow Coliseum Collection coming in, number 5. All right, next up, we're at the number 4 spot in our top 5 countdown, and this guy is no strangers to Ultimates, and I would have to do the math on my fingers and toes, but I'm pretty sure this guy's had the most Ultimate figures of anybody in the Ultimate line, be it Coliseum Collection, the traditional, the store exclusives, Target exclusive, ringside exclusive, you name it. This is a guy that's had a lot of Ultimates, and this one, currently on the shelves right now at Target. Who are we talking about? Well, we're talking about late in the game, one last run, Hulk Hogan. Of course, Mattel Ultimate Target exclusive. Now, I'm not the biggest Hogan guy. You guys know that. We've talked about it for 5 years on the channel. However, I understand Hulk Hogan. I understand why people are wanting to buy this one. But this one, or all his figures in general. But this one was one of my favorite runs of Hulk Hogan. That was where, me and Hogan put our issues aside from all those years in the 80s and the 90s, even into WCW. Put it aside a little bit because you did have the feeling this was Hogan's last run. It was like, This is a guy that's been around since I started watching wrestling. He's getting one last run with the championship. It's kind of cool to see where this is going. And I even enjoyed the Mr. America time frame there, right before he left the company, and really the end of Hulkamania as far as wrestling goes on a major scale. I think we could say that. But this is a cool moment in time. One, always liked the look of Hulk Hogan around this time as well. A really fun figure and a bit of a sleeper figure in the pantheon of course, Hulk Hogan Ultimates we've got from Mattel. But this one comes in at number 4, available at Target right now. It is Hulk Hogan. We've reached the halfway point of the countdown. You got your list together? Put it in the comments down below. And don't forget to subscribe to this YouTube channel. Don't forget to give it the old thumbs up. You guys forget the thumbs up always helps the channel. Make sure you thumbs up all the videos. But here we are at the halfway point of number 3. But much like number 4, number 3 also a Target exclusive. And if my math is correct, once again, I think this was the first Ultimate we unboxed on the channel here in 2025. A fabulous one. Another one that's a sleeper that I think some people passed on, said, maybe it's not different enough from the Elite. But man, this one was so nice, I had to buy it twice. Who are we talking about? We're talking about the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, a fun figure in the Ultimate. And when I thought of a lot of legends, you think of who's going to be an Ultimate. Dusty didn't jump out at me right away, but I am glad they did this one. It's really multiple looks. You put shirt on, shirt off. You got the Big Boss Man hat, the Big Boss Man club, and then you got all the expressive faces on this one, which really carry it to the next level. There's so much, every time I walk by this one, I can't help but laugh with this crazy face on there from Dusty. Just a wild time, and for a lot of kids of the 80s, this was your first version of Dusty Rhodes. You didn't know the butt kicker from NWA and WCW. You knew the polka dot Dusty Rhodes. So it is truly a moment in time, truly a figure that's way better than it needed to be, I would say. Definitely a sleeper, definitely a fun figure. It is the Target exclusive Dusty Rhodes Ultimate, coming in at number 3. Getting closer and closer to the end of the countdown. Here we are at number 2, and the number 2 selection. I don't know how you couldn't have this in a top 10, top 5, and you could easily make the point that this is in the top 5 Ultimates of all time, not just 2025. It's a recent release hitting stores right now, of course, ringside as well. It is a must-have figure if there ever was one. Who is at number 2? Well, it's the Great Muda. Another figure so nice, I did buy this one twice. I'm not opposed to a third one in the future either. It is the Great Muda, a guy that changed the game. If you were a little kid like me when he was coming on the scene, we had never seen anything like it. We'd seen face paint a little bit, of course, but we've never seen the moonsaults and the high-flying stuff. And for a whole generation, this is the first time you ever did get to see the mist. So a groundbreaker, a guy that took a hold of our imaginations as a kid, at least if you're me, and a guy that I am so happy Mattel got to a contract. We even got more Great Mudas coming later this year, and I have to imagine in our Superstars countdown, our Elite countdown, and our Ultimate countdowns, we're going to have representation of the Great Muda in this one here. But a fabulous figure. Doesn't get much better than this, as we know the Mattel team, especially Bill over there, absolute Great Muda fans. So you knew there was a lot of love around this one. And the regular edition of Great Muda is a fabulous pickup. So much, in fact, it comes in at number 2, which means there can only be one, like a young Highlander. What is the number 1 Ultimate of 2025 so far? Well, stay tuned. Here we are. We're at the number 1 Ultimate of 2025 so far. And of course, as Jerry Reed says, and as usual, Jerry Reed 100% right. We got a long ways to go to finish out 2025. It'd be very interesting to see where this list shuffles at the end of the year. Will some guys fall off the list? Will others be added? Could the number 1 be the number 5? Who knows what could happen? But as of right now, a moment in time, as we sit at June 2025, this is the halfway there countdown, and we're at the number 1 spot. But before we get there, have you checked out my new podcast, Cheap Plug? And Todd, you know why I got to plug it? Exactly right. Nobody else will, so somebody's got to plug it. But it is my new podcast every single Tuesday. It is The Kyle Peterson Show, where my wife, Angie, and I break down everything from action figures to new food to album of the week to figure of the week and all points in between. It is The Kyle Peterson Show, available wherever podcasts are found, with videocast on YouTube. Appreciate the support over there. But without further ado, let's get to the number 1 Ultimate of 2025 so far. And we got a little bit of that Iron Maiden deja vu as the number 1 figure as of right now. It's the Great Muda again, but this time it's in the black chase. Now, a thin line between the two. I like both of them. I also like the green face paint that he had once upon a time. But he looks his most evil in the black and white. That's what I remember being the coolest look when I was a little kid. Now, I like the white face paint. I said I like the green one. I like the red. I like the black and white. There was a lot of good ones. You couldn't go wrong with any of them. But personally, for me, the black one is the one to go with here. Now, this is the Chase. I'll probably track down another one of these to open once I do find one out at the stores again. But obviously, you do have the Mist, and you can put that in the other ones too. But I do display the black one with the Mist for me. Just a fabulous, fabulous rendition of the Great Muda. And it really comes down to a pick 'em between the two. And I personally prefer the black, and that's why the black is at number 1. So there it is, my top 5 of 2025 so far, WWE Mattel Ultimates. Do you got your list together? Put it in the comments down below. Make sure you put them in order. That's the hard part. That's the fun part. Be very interested to see your list. Of course, you want early access to this video and all the other videos from both my YouTube channels. Make sure you check out the Patreon and YouTube channel memberships. Appreciate the support over there. Don't forget my new book, The Complete Guide to the ECW Original San Francisco Toy Makers, available at Amazon, available at Barnes & Noble, or available from me if you want an autographed edition. Check it out. Appreciate the support on the book, of course. And then, of course, social media, SirPaul64 on the X, _Kyle_Peterson on Threads, Instagram, TikTok, and, of course, The Kyle Peterson Show at gmail.com. So for a best of halfway through the year edition, I'm Kyle. See you guys all real soon.
Are we gonna dance or are we gonna play?